Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. I gotta sit there and say, I actually haven't enjoyed an episode this much in a very long. And there is so much that I want to sit there and talk about throughout this episode, and I know I'm gonna sit there and forget something, but you know what I usually sit there and say towards the end of the video, and if you don't, I'll sit there and say it again. But I want to start off with Michael and Carly because this episode starts off with, Carly just being shocked. Like, wait, so you tell me that Dex is a mole and Josh knows about this whole thing and what are you doing? And she's just all shocked, right? And Michael's like, you need to sit there and turn, you need to sit there and turn this in to protect the family. You got to be there for us and we need you and this, that, and the third. And really just trying to play on her guilt at this point, right? I think the best part about this particular scene is also a reason why Michael's plan is so ass backwards that it literally makes no sense. Carly is like, okay, let's say Sonny goes to jail. What do you think is going on out happening? Now, Michael, who's pretty much grew up in the mob, knows exactly what's going on up happening. But somehow, for some odd reason, he just kind of stands there and looks like an idiot while Carly has to sit there and teach him why Sonny is important being there. Let me tell you something. As far as mobsters is concerned, Sonny's the best of a bad situation. When they always sit there and say he's the mobster with a heart of gold, pretty sure Miss Wu, Cyrus, or anybody else that came in there, there would have been a lot more bodies. Let's put it that way. There would have been a lot more bodies. On top of the fact that Sonny does do good for the community. And so she's like, it's going to be a power vacuum. And who's going to step in? Jason's not here. Michael, do you know anyone else in the organization that could take over? And then she brings up the famous about 2 years ago when Sonny was gone. And everyone was almost dead. And they would go after her. Just to prove that Sonny ain't ish anymore. And you know what Michael says? I don't see it that way. You don't see it that way. He was also caught up in an ambush, by the way. But for some odd reason, he's like, nope, I still think you need to turn it in. Michael is practical at best, right? So, on what level does turning in the evidence, making Sonny go away, and all the protections and everything like that that goes along with it, and leaving their family open to slaughter is a better alternative? Because this goes against, even Michael's, practicality. This is the reason why it's so stupid. And this is why I sit there and say this is the best part, or among the best parts. I was probably sit there and say it's the best part, but also the worst part because it just shows you just how acidine this whole, we gotta sit there and take Sonny down. We gotta sit there and send him in front of a prison. We gotta sit there and protect Carly. Because, once we protect Carly from going to jail, well, I guess that's pretty much about it, right? I mean, because, it's not like we actually have to worry about somebody going after Carly or the family or anything. It's just so acidine. And right there, it just shows you just how stupid it is. I was so psyched to sit there and get to this part. I forgot to actually, get my water bottle. Since I don't feel like getting up, this is what it's going to be like. Rationing it. Rationing it. Brooklyn. Alright, so there's a scene in the beginning. Brooklyn is just not there, just eating ice cream and looking right at Chase's face, and I'm just like, we're just gonna keep this episode on my DVR for a couple of days, just for that scene alone, right? So at some point, they're hanging out, and it seemed like about to kiss or whatever, and Tracy comes in there. And Tracy is like, "Hey, I need you to give me a drink." Sends him over to the bar to get a drink. She's like, "How's progress going?" She ain't happy. She's like, "Yo, I want the goods, I want deception, all that stuff. I want it. Like, you're not at the office, you're not slaving away. Like what's going on? I need my info." I'm gonna be honest. The way that she was treating Chase started to get kind of annoying. To be honest, it just did. Yeah. So you got that whole thing going on. You got Jordan that's there looking at that stupid wedding ring that bum ass Curtis gave her. So she's all upset and pouty and everything. And then towards the end, Mr. GQ man himself, Z, comes in there. She's all like, I'm not really going to be good company. My dude's like, I'll take my chances. I like that. As a man, I gotta sit there and respect that. Okay, as a man, I gotta sit there and be like, I respect that. And besides, Curtis is trash. So, um, at this point, almost any man, can sit there and just be a step above. Um, he also did sit there and agree to help with Portia and her stupid, ridiculous plan of breaking up Trina and Spencer because she doesn't like Spencer and he's bad news and blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, well, stone and glass houses. Just saying. When I gotta sit there and start defending Spencer, there's an imbalance in the universe that needs to be corrected. Now, Spencer, Spencer got the evidence, and Trina's like, "Yo, let's turn it in." And Spencer's like, "I don't know if that's really such a good idea." And I'm just like, and Trina's like, "Whoa, no, 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 no! You need to sit there and tell me. You need to tell me right now." So Spencer tells Trina, like, I made a deal with him to sit there and try to make sure I get rid of Esme. Not kill her like, this maniac was talking about, but I need to sit there and find a way to get rid of her. And so he was like, so most likely the evidence this may not be legit. But it's not like she didn't do those things, so it's not, there's a possibility, but. And then he's like, I want to turn it in. Because at first he was like, I want to turn it in. You can just sit there and chill. And it's not at this point, Trina's like, no, this is a bad idea. Because if you turn in that evidence and it's wrong, who do you think is going to go to jail? Like, if they find out you're going to jail, and then you're no good to sit there and ace. So you need to sit there and just chill out. So Spencer's like, all right, yeah, sure. And Trina goes to, have dinner with her dad. And she was like, yo, you need to sit and destroy the evidence. I was like, I don't know about that. Because at first he was like, maybe we could just kind of chill out on this. And for once in a blue moon, I feel like I need something stronger than this. I was actually on Spencer's side with just keeping the evidence, just in case she decides to flip out and turn back into the OS. And it's like, yo, we got someone. So when she left, he put it back in a box with. I was like, it's a good idea. Saying that, but it's a good idea. Um, so that was a shock. Ava's that they're talking to Mason, and Mason's like, I want you to get information on Sunny and Pikeman. And she's all like, I don't, she talks about how, they've come a long way and, she's not in a position, this, that, and the third. And, she's just, they're trying to have the peace with him. And I'm like, Ava, what you don't understand is that you don't have a choice in this. This is the problem. I feel like Yeah, Ava could be very sassy, but in this situation, when Austin's like, I think you need to sit there and listen to him. I think you need to sit there and hear him out. I'm like, all the sass in the world is not gonna get you out of the situation. And this isn't one of those things where it's like, maybe back in the day when you were actually in a mob and you had some sort of power, you could be like, nah, I ain't doing what you tell me to do. You can kick rocks. You're not going to Sunny for help, so she's all like, no, you can sit there and kick rocks. So it's like, you do realize that he knows where the body's at, right? That he can still turn you in at any point in time. That's the part that's just so like, I just, So he walks away, and Austin's like, you need to sit there and chill out. Because as Mason said, Mason's like, yo, you can sit there and try to one off me if you want. But the person that comes in there, our boss, you might want to sit there and think a little bit differently. And even Austin's like, it's better to sit there and deal with him than to deal with whoever this person is. Now, when Zeke said that he had business in town, right? After going along with this BS plan to try to, I guess, break Trina and Spencer up, he was like, I got business in town. I got a client or whatever. I'm sitting there thinking that he may actually have something to do with either Mason and his group or Pikeman. I want to sit there and say it's probably Mason and his crew. That's what I want to sit there and say it is. Because, yeah, he comes across as all very cool and chill and everything like that, but, when it comes to his business, people can sit there and like that. So I'm very curious because here's the thing, they brought him back, okay? They brought him back for a reason, you know? And you can tell when they brought him back, he's not just a one off sort of situation. Obviously they're going to sit there and bring him back for Jordan, which, um, surprisingly, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I don't know. There's something about this guy that I like. So, um, so of course, here's Love in the Afternoon, as I always sit there and say with Joss and Dex. And then afterwards, she talks about the reason why she didn't sit there and say she loved him back. But then she does wind up sitting there saying it. And I think this is either before or after they wound up having Love in the Afternoon, which I'm all for. What I was not all for was the going through memory lane thing. That was the part I was just like, and I felt like they put it out there maybe because some songwriter or whatever, they want to sit there and push some sort of, I don't know, some sort of terrible song. But it was just like this whole flashback. It was totally unnecessary. It really was. I feel like when they start doing flashbacks like that, the only time I feel like a flashback is really necessary is when the character's leaving. We all know he's not leaving, so completely unnecessary. Just 100% unnecessary. Yeah, I enjoyed this episode. Sometimes when I sit there and say I didn't enjoy certain episodes or whatever, and people sit there and say, well, it can't always be action every day and stuff like that. And, for me, it doesn't necessarily need to be all super action and stuff. It really doesn't. Um, it just needs to be an episode like this. Um, so I gotta sit there and give it. My whole thing is like, if they actually have more episodes like this, I probably wouldn't sit there and complain so much. And I mean so much. I mean, obviously, there's going to be certain things we're going to have issues with. But for the most part, this is a good episode. So, also, I feel like, again, I missed something. But I'd always sit there and say when I miss stuff, come to a live stream. Tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We're going to be sitting there um, going all over it. All of it. And I mean, GH, YNR, Days of Our Lives, and B&B. We're going to be sitting there talking about all the four soaps. So definitely come through. With that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.